New Moon in Aries, Solar Eclipse, April 8th, 2024. Someone has got a will to live. Could it be you? Could you be determined to survive and confused? Confused. A little chaos, or more than a little. A situation too long in manufacturing to have a solution. It will have distractions, fears, disappointment, and whether or not we see it coming, surprise, balanced between hope and a blurry, unfocused anger. We even know why we are angry, but it just seems the way of the world. Our minds are sharp. We regret, review, rewind, receive a partial disclosure, a word to the wise. With clarity, or with none, we begin. It takes discipline, and it takes something more, belief. James Baldwin writes, "The longer I live, the more deeply I learn that love, whether we call it friendship or family or romance, is the work of mirroring and magnifying each other's light. Gentle work, steadfast work, life-saving work in those moments when life and shame and sorrow occlude our own light from view, but there is still a clear-eyed, loving person to beam it back. In our best moments, we are that person for another." Revelation, subtext, backstory, the missing piece to an unwelcome puzzle, a secret you'd rather not know? The more you know. It's better to know. And isn't there something comic about it? A little funny or ironic? What's the expression? The plot thickens. It does. This time it does. The knowledge helps us to understand where we are. In a poem called Maps of States, Terence Hayes writes, "You may wander the states of wonder indicated by the many unmarked areas along the map. Almost anything you see is a map in some way. Let your eyes fall where they may, on the maps." You could say, as they do in A Midsummer Night's Dream, that the course of true love never did run smooth. Not that this is love, but could it be, somehow, in the midst of a puzzle, as buds open and leaves unfurl, could it be you are falling in love with your life, with yourself, perhaps more deeply and completely than has been possible before? As springtime unfolds, you release a relentless panic from your body. Shake it off. Relax into the chaos of a new adventure, a place of many perils. Oh, once upon a time, when the sky grows dark and the moon conspires to block out the sun, and something secret is born of that darkness. In fairy stories, in adventures, we know in our hearts before we even begin. We believe that it will work out right in the end. An imaginary and very real end. It never ends. All the while, any dramatic, tragic, or ridiculous thing may happen, will happen, as we are and have to be an unlikely protagonist. The third and least charming son, the woman locked in a tower or threatened by death and capture. Complete the impossible task, solve the unsolvable riddle, a conundrum so deep, so wide, that you are open to anything. Any mode of survival or stroke of good fortune. That's you, isn't it? A set of circumstances will have to conspire to assist you if you're going to solve the riddle or jump in the boiling pot and make it out alive. You know you have to try, and that might be nearly the sum of what you do know. You'll need help, and as it turns out, there will be help. An implausible plausibility is about to take place. Ian McGilchrist writes, "Music consists entirely of relations, betweenness. The notes mean nothing in themselves. The tension between the notes, and between the notes and the silence with which they live in reciprocal indebtedness, are everything. Melody, harmony, and rhythm each lie in the gaps. And yet, the betweenness is only what it is because of the notes themselves. Actually, the music is not just in the gaps any more than it is just in the notes. It is in the whole that the notes and the silence make together. Each note becomes transformed by the context in which it lies. What we mean by music is not just any agglomeration of notes, but the one in which the whole created is powerful enough to make each note live in a new way, a way that it never had done before. Lately, I've been reading about frequencies, and you can see why I put that in. As I read about them, I begin to think about life, about all matter, as a song, as so many songs, enfolded in each other, entwined, and the silences, the spaces, as the song we don't hear, or perhaps the song we hear loudest of all. And the relationship is music, and the music is our lives. And sometimes I wonder who is singing, with what breath and what pauses. And perhaps it's only all of us making the shapes, as starlings do, by instinct, toward murmuration. As we breathe in now, there are no meaningful separations from the molecules that surround you and the molecules that become you. Air enters your body and becomes your body. I'm so glad you are alive and breathing here with us.